Hi, everybody. Today's reading is going to be a little different. It's going to be more of a channeled message that I sat with the energy of the Divine Masculine, and I went through the chakra system to see where they might be imbalanced or what might be going on in their energy centers. So we're going to take a look at all the different ways in which their thoughts and their actions are affecting their physical body, and where they're held up or feeling stuck at this time. So I'm going to refer to my notes that I've written out here, and if I get anything else that comes through, I will share that as well. So we started off with the root chakra, and what was coming to me was the energy of the lovers. So to me, this was talking about there was a choice between two feminine energies. And the root chakra is all about our security and stability and how we feel safe and our family life and these types of things. So what I was feeling is that in these connections that this masculine was involved in or was choosing between, there was a sense of two very different paths ahead, and each one leading to something entirely different. And the masculine choosing a path that allowed them to stay hidden, allowed them to stay very material based in their life. So what does that mean? It means that the path that they've chosen allows them to hide their shadow self, to hide traumas or insecurities or any type of unhealed emotions from their past. They've hidden that. They've put that aside. They've fragmented themselves. So this path that they've chosen, they're able to walk forward without dealing with those things because they're focused on material wealth. They're focused on work. They're focused on abundance and very superficial types of energies here. So the problem with this, and what I've been picking up, is that their inner child, their higher self, whatever it may be, is screaming out to them that they are in fact safe to be authentic. They are in fact safe to face those parts of themselves that they felt weren't worthy. So there's definitely issues around worthiness, around being accepted, around fitting in, around creating discord. So by living this life that they're living, they're not rocking the boat. They're not having any type of conflict with people in their lives because their belief system is differing. This other path that they could have taken was going to lead them probably to a more spiritual, uplifted self. But in order to get there, they had to face the things that was going to cause waves. It was going to cause confrontation and conflict with people because we're breaking out of certain programs and we're confronting issues from the past and things like this. So this one road was going to lead them on this journey of self-discovery and healing. The road they chose was not that road. However, there is something within them that is creating conflict because it's screaming at them to break away from this. Let me see if there's anything else that I've written here. So there is a sense of anger within for having to act out this facade. There's a part of them that is angry at themselves, and they show it out into the world. They may treat people poorly because they're putting that responsibility onto somebody else instead of, you know, being responsible for their own actions. It's being a martyr, right? It's saying, like, I'm doing this because of you, because of the circumstances, because I have to. So there's something here about responsibility. So moving into the sacral energy, so your passions, your creativity, your sexual energy. What I've written here is, okay, so because they are dismissing their inner truth, they're kind of ignoring their emotions, they're ignoring any type of sadness, any kind of energy that they feel disempowered by. They're ignoring this. And so there's a void. It feels like a loss. And so the energy switches and becomes more ruthless. It can become cruel. There's a cruel intention kind of behind this, because anyone that isn't being authentic, and putting on a facade, they are pushing down parts of themselves that part of themselves is saying, let me out, let me out. So they're not connecting to their passions, their creativity, and their sexual energy. They're not letting it out. It's just stuck. It's stuck, and it's a void. It also feels like a loss of love, and that's because they're pushing that down as well. They're not allowing the energy of love to grow, to expand, to be put out there. I'm also getting that the energies of their sexuality and the things that they are passionate about, they feel like those energies are toxic. So if these things start to come up, and this person starts to feel drawn to act upon something, they talk themselves out of it by saying, that's toxic. That is not being in integrity. That is not acceptable. That is bad, right? So they're squashing this constantly. So what I do feel, though, is that there's something about wanting to live this great, exciting life. They want to have new experiences. They want to live on the edge. They want to travel. They want to meet people. They want to have that spark that keeps them motivated. But there's an imbalance because there's a part of themselves that they're squashing. And so they're calling that toxic. But this other part of themselves that they can feed, they don't see that as toxic at all. But that's causing an imbalance in their life. So they're saying, I'm not a bad person. I'm not doing those bad things. I'm following my heart and doing these things. But those things might actually be causing discord in their life. So it doesn't matter the way you look at it. It's coming from the same energy of wanting to feel free, wanting to be expressive, but there's an imbalance here. So they might be overdoing one thing in order to squash the other. I hope that makes sense. All right, so moving to the solar plexus, how we show ourselves to the world, our personal empowerment, the way we feel about ourselves. What I have here is a lack of passion for life, no direction, no commitment to the future. So they might be very in the moment, not really focused on how their actions are going to play out and the consequences of them. We have feeling like what they wanted had already passed them by. So I'm getting the sense of martyring, like I gave up that I gave up that love. I gave up that opportunity. It's already passed me by. This is the cards that I'm dealt, and this is the way that I have to proceed, and it makes me angry. And you, this person that they've chosen, should be feeling indebted. I'm feeling that they feel like this person needs to be in debt to them for choosing them. Okay, so what else do we have? We have their focus very much on their job, on their money, on their assets. So they can make this compromise because they feel like they're being fed from the outside in. They can say, I might have lost out on this opportunity to love, but I have all of this abundance. What right do I have to be upset about anything when my life is grand, my life is full, right? I should just be happy where I am. They try to make themselves look good. They make their life look good. That's part of that facade that they wear, right? They show it off. They seem proud. They also might be very controlling to their partner, or they allow their partner to control them because it is very much like a business transaction, whether or not their partner feels that or not. They have this mindset that it is very much like an exchange of a contract, right? This contract is a business dealing. There are rules, there are roles, there are things that you give me and I give you, and that is the reciprocity, whether or not there is a lot of love there. What else do we have? I also feel there is a part of them that feels like they trust in fate. They feel like this is what I've chosen, but if I live accordingly, integrity and high value, if I'm this high value person, that fate will intervene. And if I'm meant to find that true love again or go down a different path, fate will make it definite. There's nothing that I can do because I've let this pass by. There's nothing that I can do to have that opportunity again, but fate can. So there's a part of them that keeps this hope alive, hoping that there's a possibility that fate could step in and, bring this into their world somehow. Okay, let's move on to the heart space, okay? This is how we give and receive love, how we feel about ourselves, how we care for ourselves and others. So what I have is, they've left a door open. So that whole fate energy has gone into their heart space and says, I'm never closed off completely to this love. I am, however, sitting back and waiting, because if I'm deserving of it, or if it's meant to be, fate or the universe or God or whoever will step in and bring this to me. But because of this, it's hard for them to stay in that high vibe energy of I'm trusting my life, I'm trusting the flow, I'm trusting the people that I am aligned to and connecting with. And so they start to feel distant and isolating. So they go off on their own a lot. They may have a sacred space that they retreat to. And they're calling this solitude. They're calling this, I need solitude. I need to go within. I need to maybe meditate. I need to just be at peace and alone and, be in my own thoughts. But what they're doing is they're trying to connect. They're trying to find clarity. They're trying to connect on that higher vibration with what they've lost, with the person they love. They go to be alone so that they can connect to the part of themselves that is attached to another person that they can't be within the physical. So they try to connect on a higher level, on the 5D. And in this, they feel like they're honoring their truth. They feel like they're honoring their truth and they're keeping this connection alive somehow. This person could also, because there's a lot of escapism here, right? They fantasize, they may dream about this person. They may also have addiction problems. So whether or not they escape into an unhealthy addiction, or they are addicted to this person, or they have been, and that's why they may feel like it is a toxic energy that they needed to put behind them. Okay, so I'm also reading here that I've written, they could also be very verbally abusive. So we'll get to the throat chakra next, but they may be a very verbally abusive person. I'll expand on that in the throat. This person may feel abandoned by spirit, like spirit allowed them to lose these parts of themselves, their truth. Spirit allowed them to live this life where they're missing love. They are worthy. So I feel like also this person had a dream. They had that fantasy. They're very much able to get into their imagination and to live there for a time. It's inspiring to them. It is like a muse. It allows them to create. But there's something about their self-worth that they don't feel worthy, because again, if they were worthy of this love, they would have it. So it's been taken away from them. It's been kept out of their reach because they don't believe they're worthy. Okay, so let's go into heart, throat. Interesting. Okay, so their throat chakra, to me, they've held on to so much energy. They could have throat issues. They could have a constant cough. They may yell and scream. They may try to be very expressive in their truth because they're not living their truth. So a part of their truth is that anger, a part of it's frustration, or the feeling of being owed something. They may be cutting. They may just not be very kind. Okay, but on the flip side, it could also be the opposite, where they only say what is necessary. They're only saying what is necessary. They aren't saying the truth. They're only saying things in response to another. So how they express themselves in a loving situation, somehow it benefits them. So maybe they need an ego boost. So they give a compliment to their partner in order for their partner to feed them. Okay, so I feel like there's a selfish energy here where they're needing constant approval, appraisal, somebody always making them feel good about themselves. So they may come off, very funny, or very, you know, maybe musical. Maybe they sing a lot or hum a lot. They try to be more lighthearted, so that another person feeds them in a positive way. So there's a lot of what I'm getting. There's a lot of manipulation in their truth, in their throat chakra, and how they express themselves and how they receive. Okay, so we're going to go into the third eye chakra. So relating from fear, manifesting connections. So they find themselves calling in the energy of love. They find themselves calling in, trying to manifest a fantasy, a situation, maybe a romantic situation, for like a perfect rendezvous, a perfect meeting, something that like lights them up, something that they feel excited about. So they find themselves, imagining this. They find themselves imagining a certain situation. And then when it comes close to appearing like it could actually be real, they run away from it in fear. They feel like there's a part of them that just cannot resist temptation. They're attracted to the forbidden, but then they feel weakened by it. They feel like they can't resist it. So they might struggle with self-control or discipline in all areas of their life. They may find it really difficult to be disciplined. They may also feel like their emotions are bad. Their emotions are forbidden emotions. And then that causes them to hold on to guilt, shame, and fear. Fear of someone finding out the truth. Someone might see through the facade, see through, their thoughts, right? They're afraid of connection in that way. They're afraid of psychic connection, because if somebody can read their mind, if somebody can telepathically connect to them, they're going to see their dark, deep secrets, right? They're also afraid of gossip. They're afraid of people viewing them in a certain way and talking about them. They're afraid of being an outcast. They're afraid of not fitting in to the picture that they've created, right? They will suffer loss. They're also afraid of, if they get too close to another person, that they will lose them, that they will not be able to hold on to them, and that they will lose a part of themselves in the connection. And this is what they see. They actually see this in their fantasy. They see themselves as being very magnetically drawn to this person, that they lose their own power. They lose their sense of self. And if they allow another person to be, have this much power over them, then that person can hurt them at any moment. And they believe that because they don't feel worthy, that this is going to happen. So they would rather play it safe, okay? They are also afraid of being viewed as soft, as not masculine, of being weak, of being, romantic, or putting love. They see love as even the word love. Their energy, to them, love is childish. Love is a weakness. It's not something that they want to be known for. They don't want people to say, oh my God, look at that masculine. He is so loving. No, they want them to say, look at that masculine. Like, he's got it going on. He makes tons of money. He's a provider. He's strong. He's, a man of action. Okay, let's go into the crown now. Determined to believe they have grown and learned. It's about wisdom, right? It's about how we connect to the universe, how we bring clarity to our third eye. It's that relationship of seeing and knowing and understanding. So this masculine really believes that they've got something figured out, that it's important for them to know that the decisions that they made led them to a better life, led them to being more controlled, more maybe calm. Maybe they're able to control their emotions by not expressing, right? So it's not really a positive. Yes, master your emotions, but don't control them. Don't hold them back. And lead into what draws them or pulls them away from their task. So they're very task-oriented. They have certain priorities that they want to focus on. They don't want to allow anything to pull them away from that, because that could lead them down a rabbit hole of feeling, of looking at the past as making a mistake in the choices that they've created. They want to feel wise. They want to feel like the decisions that I've made have been good. They have been for my best. And if I admit that I made a mistake, then I'm not wise and I'm not mature, and I'm just continuing on an old pattern that repeats itself over and over again. And who wants to feel that way, right? Who wants to age and feel like they're younger mentality-wise than they were before they got on the journey? They have come for... It's not where they really feel it. Well, let's just see. They get... Please show them different paths. Okay, so yeah, long fantasize, they believe it's all a dream. Okay, so that's the thing. They do get visions of what another path would look like for them. And this person has a few different thoughts. This person feels like, well, if something happens on this path where there is no longer a future, then that's when that opportunity would present itself. That's when I would go down a different path, but it won't be of my doing. It won't be because I caused it. It will be outside influences determining, like a tower moment, a death, something like this, right? But because they have this fantasy of what that other path could lead to, what it could be, how it could feel, they aren't actually giving it up 100%, because they can always go there in their mind. They can always go there whenever they want to, and it's there for them while they're living their life. When they do go there, they almost get mad at themselves because they want to linger there too long. And when they go back to reality, they feel like angry at themselves because it really isn't real. They're telling themselves that it's too good to be true, that they need to wake up from that fantasy, right? Wake up from that dream. And maybe in another life that would be possible. Maybe it was another life that they're remembering. But they don't want to let it go. They don't want to walk away from this connection that they felt. They want to keep it alive because it's the only way for them to know that they're keeping that part of them alive, the part of them, the shadow part of them that they have, left behind or squashed down. I'm not saying that the whole connection that they had with this love was their shadow. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that was what the key was, to unlock their heart. I think that it was true love. I think that it was truly their authentic self. They see it as shadow. They see it as weakness, and they see it as something that was bad. And it could be religious factors. It could be that their family didn't agree. It could be that there's just other situations or issues that they didn't know how to resolve. They didn't know how to move forward in that way. But I don't feel like it was a shadow. I feel like it scared them. I feel like it was intense and emotional, and they didn't know how to deal with it at the time. There might be a feeling for them that it is time now to deal with it. Because they are out of balance. They're out of balance in their chakras. They're out of balance with the way that they think, the program they have running in their head. Materialism can only get you so far. It can't feed your soul. So you're still left feeling an emptiness if there's a part of you living in a fantasy land that holds your heart, that holds the things that really matter to you, that holds your creativity, your passion, your spark, your growth, your soul's growth. If that is held in a fantasy and not allowed to be integrated within you, you are split, right? You're split. And you're not feeling whole. You're like dissociating from that whole part of yourself instead of integrating it, even alchemizing it, letting go of the things that aren't serving, but alchemizing it and allowing it to merge with the other part of yourself. And in that, you create, you grow, you blossom, you untap things, you unleash aspects of yourself. This is what causes real wisdom. This is what allows for real growth, real change. It breaks away old cycles. It breaks away the feeling of being unworthy, because it brings value to you. It brings value to your life. It allows you to be authentic, what you were meant to be. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like, share. Let me know how that resonates for you. But this is the energy that I'm picking up at the moment. Energy is constantly changing and shifting, and of course it doesn't resonate with everybody. It may be very particular for certain people, but I'm gonna leave that there. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.